All right, let us share the link. We are about to get started. All right, let's start. The rest will find us on the way because today we have two trainers, so there is no time to waste. Welcome everybody. Today's call. My name is Wealth Coach Julius, and happy to have you here. In the morning, we failed to train simply because there was a lot of rain in my area, so it reached a time and I could not be able to continue because of network issues. But definitely, we are here and we are proud to have you tonight. I'm going to use off the first few minutes, and then after, we are going to have Coach Mopiwa to basically come up and then take you through the second part of our session tonight. Okay, so tonight, friends, we are looking at setting signals. It's one of the classes we conduct, and we are trying to look at how do you set signals is the main topic. And like I was trying to say in the morning, trading still gets back to who you are and how you behave when the market goes against you. And like I've said, that it becomes very easy for you to set up signals if you can understand who you are. Okay. How do you feel when the market is in profit, and how do you feel when the market goes against you is one of the most important effects when you are trading. And so it is very easy if your goal of trading, sorry, just a minute. If you want profit per day, sorry. Okay, so if you want to trade and you want profits per day, which usually is the ultimate goal of everyone, mainly. That's why most of you get started in a business. But the most important thing is if you feel bad when the market goes against you, then you should choose which strategy works for you. Okay? So, right, let's get to this very fast. And then Coach Mopiwa is going to be able to take over very, very soon, in just a few minutes from now. Now, we have three strategies of trading. Okay, we have three strategies. Of using signals. So, but before we go to the three strategies of using a signal, it is important for everybody in the business to know how a signal looks like. And usually, when signals are sent, they usually come in just two main categories. It doesn't matter how the signal looks like, but the signals come in two main categories. Okay, they usually come in two main categories. The signal comes with the name of the coin. Maybe the signal has A hash, or maybe the signal has L hash, or maybe the signal has J hash, or maybe the signal has K hash. These are just identity to help us identify who has given the signal. That is just our mechanism of approach. But now the most important part in all that we do is that the signal has the name of the coin. Let me say the name of the coin is FTM, stroke USDT. We are going to also to bring USDC. So it means in your account, you must have USDT to trade this coin. It comes with the TP. TP stands for take profit. And the take profit here, let me say it is 3%. And it comes with buy at current price. It would say buy at current price. So if you see the word current price. Or another signal may come a little bit different. It comes, let me say, not USDT. It means you must have USDT to trade this coin. It has a TP. Let me say the TP is 3%. Then it has a preset price. A preset price. A preset, let me say it is 0.01311. Now, these are the two kinds of signals. These are the two kinds of signals. One that is of current price, another one is of a preset price. And as a trader, you just need to look for the name of the coin, the take profit, the current price. The name of the coin, the take profit, the preset price. Now, no matter which signal you pick to trade, The rest of the settings you use are okay, as long as you can be able to identify the name of the coin, either the take profit given, either it is a current price signal or is a preset price signal. That is number one. If you have understood that, give me a 2 in the chat. Now, the three strategies. The three strategies. The three strategies for trading. One, we have the bull run strategy. Number two, we have the buy by pivot, which Coach Mopua is going to explain. Number three, we have the start small, win big. All these strategies, they get back to which kind of a person you are. How do you feel when the market is against you, and how do you feel when you are in trading? Let me start with number one, the bull run. Why was this strategy? Was basically introduced, one, for wallet management. Because in this strategy, we are saying you have $300, you divide your capital into three. You trade a maximum of 2 signals. When one sells, you trade another one. You make sure the AI margin call is on. And you must follow, that is the strategy if you choose it to trade it. It says, the strategy says, a person who uses it must have close to $100. Less than $100, ignore the strategy. The formula is simple. You have $500, you divide your $500 into three. Trade a maximum of 2 signals a day. If one sells, you enter another one. And make sure the AI margin call is on. And all these strategies in the setup, they have 5 margin calls with the AI on. And the strategy mode is sub-bin mode. The AI must be on. The margin calls are 5. And that's the strategy. It's basically for wallet management. And basically, if you are using this strategy, number 2, you must be able to compound your money. Compound your money. How? My first buying amount, I have $100. I divide my $100 into 6. Why? I will get close to $16 to be my first buying amount. I open 16 to be my first buying amount. On the multiple buying ratio, I'll put a 1-1. My robot sells, I make a 0.5. On the next coin, my first buying amount will be 16.5. When the robot buys, I change this 16.5 back to $16. That is the bull run strategy. The AI must be on and the margin must be 5. And so, if I trade a coin, if I trade 2 coins today, and they all stay in floating loss, the next day, I'll use my remaining $100 to enter a new coin if I had $300. If I had $200, I'll trade 1 coin. If it doesn't sell that day, I don't trade. It means the next day I'll use my remaining $100. And you follow the strategy. That is the what? That is the strategy of the bull run. That's the strategy of the bull run. Now, let me go to another strategy. The next strategy is also a simple strategy. You must use a signal. The strategy called start small. Start small, win big. What is this strategy? This strategy is for people who say every day I need something. It is called something strategy. I need some profit per day. If you are this person who says you need some profit per day, the strategy is simple. Look at your capital. Look at your capital. How much do I have? $50. Make your first buying amount as low as possible. The first buying amount can start from $5. The first buying amount can go with 8, 5 from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So choose any of these figures. Choose any of these figures. Just understand in your mind, the bigger the figure, the lesser the margin calls. So if you say 50, divide by 5, how much do you get? Let me see if people are following. 50 divide by 5, you get 10. This will be the margin calls. So on your margin calls, you put 10, but your first buying amount will be 5. For you, another one says, me, I don't want to use 5 to be my first buying amount. I will use 6. Simple. 50 divide by 6. So your margin calls will be 8. The lesser the margin calls, the lesser the buying power. The bigger the first buying amount. Another one says, me, I don't want to use 5. I want to use 10. It is up to you. There is no one who is limiting you. But just understand, the bigger the first buying amount, the lesser the margin calls, the higher the floating loss. As simple as that. So with the strategy, I don't know what's wrong. I have one of my top leaders. I see she's sending me messages repeatedly. Maybe there is a problem. You know, I've built this business. There are certain people, when they keep on sending me messages, I must reply. Even when I'm somewhere, I must reply. There are certain leaders, when they send me messages, my reply must be instant. Okay, so let's say your capital is $100. Okay, let me say you are taking $100. Say you have $100 and you want profit per day. You can say you want your first buying amount to be 5. You want your first buying amount to be 5. Understand, you will have so many margin calls. Let me say, it will be how many? There will be around 20 margin calls. You have $200. You want your first buying amount to be 5. You will have so many margin calls. Let me say 40. But still, I can say, instead of me opening 40 margin calls, for me, I want my first buying amount to be 10. So I'll open 20. The bigger the margin calls, the lesser the risk. The lesser the margin calls, the bigger the risk. So it means because you don't have the AI margin call on, you're buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. So I have $500. I have $500. And when the market goes against me, I don't breathe, I don't take oxygen, I cannot, you have all these feelings. Me, I could say, I could divide 500 by, or I could say 500 by 20, so I will get 25 margin calls. Then the other one says, me, I feel when the market goes against me. So then I say me, I will make my first buying amount 10. So I'll open 50 margin calls. That is the start small, win big. If I divide by 5, you can decide from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up to 10. I would recommend up to 10, by the way. So you get so many margin calls. If I divide $500, divide by 20 to be my first margin call, I'll get 25 margin calls. If I decide to divide by 10, I'll get 50 margin calls. If I decide to get my 500 divided by 5, I'll get 100 margin calls. So here, if I decide to get 100 margin calls, I can go with a 0.5 or a 0.2. Because a 0.2 times 100, this will be 20% drop. But here, I would say I could go with 25 margin calls and I use a 1 instead of a 0.5. It is just as simple as that. That's the start small, win big strategy. It is a very good strategy for people who say, I want profit every single day. Now, let me go to the buy by poverty strategy, which Coach Mopiwa is going to come here and explain. The buy by poverty. All the strategies are onto the YouTube channel. The buy by poverty. One may not be a strategy for every day. It may not be a strategy for every day, but when it delivers big time. Give me one in the chat if you understand. I may not make profit per day, but when I make profit, I make significant profit. Give me one in the chat. So it is significant. I have a guy, he uses this strategy. And whenever he trades, I don't know that he's on the call. Let me see. Let me see if he's on the call. My brother from Dubai, I'm forgetting even his name. He uses this strategy. He doesn't make profit per day, but whenever he makes profit, his profits are significant. And he likes the strategy. It does not give him profit per day, but whenever it gives him profit, he does not make less than $200. And for him, it is okay. So the strategies are 3. Choose where you belong. Give me a yes in the chat if that is clear. And then I invite in our trainer for today. Give me a yes in the chat if that is clear. Then I invite in our trainer for today. So the strategies are 3. Choose where you belong. If you are this person who says, I want profit per day, go in with the start small strategy. If you have your $1,000 and you feel like putting it to be your first buying amount is not okay, and you're going to trade one coin, increase your first buying amount so that you could increase your profit. Thank you so much. Allow me invite in our trainer for today. That is none other than Coach Mopiwa, that is already on our call for today. Welcome. Take over.
All right, thank you so much, with Coach Julius, for the brief training. Yes, that was so brief. I'm sure that we have benefited, especially to those that are new. There are some that are used to these trainings. Yes, they don't see any change. All right, but we're not gonna stop because we understand that learning is progressive. Yes, learning is progressive. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna take much time. Yes, I'm not gonna take much time. We are going to go straight to buy poverty strategy, right? Yes, we're gonna go straight to bye-bye poverty strategy. Leader Julius has already introduced it, that we are focusing on making significant profit when a trade has been completed. Okay, as the name says, bye-bye poverty, it means someone is on a mission to say goodbye to poverty. All right, so when it comes to bye-bye poverty, we are looking at a capital of $1,000 and above. Yes, $1,000 and above. I hope that my voice is clear. Yes, if you can hear me, give me a one in the chat. Yes, if you can hear me, give me a one in the chat, please. Give me a one in the chat. I don't want to assume that I'm audible. Yes, sometimes things do happen. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. We get into right away so that I take probably 25 to 30 minutes. Then we come to the end of our training for today. So I'm going to share my screen. We get into the bye-bye poverty strategy. We are looking at not making profit every day, looking at the current market situation, not making profit every day, but when we make profit, we are looking at significant profit. So we are saying this strategy, it is for people that they have raised their capital up to $1,000. Okay, they have raised their capital up to $1,000. So they don't want to spread their capital, $100 here, $100 there, $100 there. No, they want significant profit when a trade has been completed. So we are looking at a capital of $1,000 and above, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, like Leader Julius has said, we do have different strategies. So pick one that suits you. Yes, I have seen people asking me when we are doing a bye-bye poverty training, they will say, if I'm having $100, can I use bye-bye poverty? Ladies and gentlemen, we do have different strategies looking at different capacities of capital. All right. So this is our bye-bye poverty strategy, a capital of $1,000 and above. Let's go into it. How do we go about the bye-bye poverty strategy? We are going to demonstrate. I'm going to pick a coin. I'm going to pick a coin here that we will try like we want to set it up. Okay. Yes. Let me pick this coin called Alpha. Yes. Alpha USDT. So we want to set Alpha. Alpha has been given as a signal. Alpha has been given as a signal, and we want to set it up using bye-bye poverty strategy. So let's get into it. This is how we go. Yes, this is how we go when we want to set a trade. Okay. So I'm going to tap on the trade settings here. I'm going to tap on the trade settings here so that we are able to impute in the right numbers that are needed for the setting. So I'm going to tap on trade setting. When we are on this page, remember, we are setting our own strategy manually. Okay. So we are going to focus on manual create. Yes. We're not gonna look at the smart create. So we tap on manual create. All right, let's go together there. I tap on manual, then it gives me this page. Okay, now number of margin call limit. Let me start from there. Number of margin call limit. How many margin calls are we going to allow our robot to trade? How many times is the robot going to buy? That's what we call margin call limit. So the number that you put this side, it simply means how many times is your robot going to buy. So with the bye-bye poverty strategy, we normally use 5 margin calls. Almost in all the strategies, we are focusing to trade with 5 margin calls. We open extra margin calls when probably the market has gone against us. So that is 5 over there. Okay. We remember we are compounding 3% 300 challenge. We are compounding 3% 300 challenge. So our take profit is already 3%. Yes, that's our take profit, 3%. All right. Yes. Today I said we are not taking long here. Yes, you're going to tell me if I am very fast. You're going to tell me if I am very fast. Please indicate in the chat if I am very fast so that maybe I can slower the speed. Yes, I can slower the speed. If I am very fast, tell me in the chat that no, today it seems like you are using 180 per hour. Yes. So notify me in the chat if I am speeding. Notify me in the chat if I am speeding. Okay. Yes, because I want you to grasp the idea of the buy poverty strategy. The buy poverty strategy. Buy poverty strategy. I'm checking the messages in the chat. That am I moving with the right speed, or I'm too slow, or should I upgrade? Okay, but it seems like I am on the right speed. Okay. All right. So let's proceed. Let's proceed. Okay. So we are here on the first page. This is the first template. Okay. This is the first template of our setting. I have started here. I did not speak about our first buy-in amount for a purpose. I'm going to come here. Okay. I'm going to come here when I'm addressing the margin configuration. Okay. It's when I'm going to talk about what is going to be our first buy-in amount. Okay. So I started here on the margin call limit. That's where I have started. All right. Yes. So let's proceed. And then we are coming here on the whole position take profit callback. Here on the whole position take profit callback, that's what you needed to put here. Okay, that's what you needed to put there when it comes on the whole position take profit callback. Here on the buy in callback, okay, you also needed to use the same percentage, 0.01. That is our percentage for buy in callback. Okay. Yes. Now, when it comes to subposition take profit callback, subposition take profit callback, this one here and this one here, these two, they are used for margin call number 5. This one here and this one here, they work for margin call 1 to 4. All right. They work for margin 1 to 4 if you are trading under sub-bin mode, okay, sub-bin mode, or you are trading under sub-bin mode real-time settlement. Okay. Yes, these are going to apply. But if you are trading in whole warehouse mode, okay, you are trading in whole warehouse mode, the robot is going to apply these first ones, these two, because you are telling your robot to sell everything, even if you are trading with 6 margin calls, 7 margin calls, 10 margin calls under whole warehouse mode. You are telling your robot that sell everything at once, meaning to say it is going to use this take profit here. Okay. But when you split your robot, I'm using the word split, you change your robot to trade in sub-bin mode or sub-bin mode real-time settlement. It's when this and this works on margin call number 1 to 4. But margin call number 5 going down, the robot uses this distributed and take profit allocation as well as the subposition take profit callback. Okay, that's how the robot works. For you to understand this, I'm going to change the number of margin call limit here. We do have 5. Okay, we do have 5. Because it is 5, this one is present and this one is present. The moment I change this figure here, I want you to check so that you understand what I'm talking about. When I say these two, they work for margin call 5 going down, while these other two, they work for margin call 1 to 4. All right, so I'm going to change. I want you to see closely so that you understand when we are explaining these things. I'm putting 4 margin calls here. Okay, I'm putting 4 margin calls here. Okay, can you see those other two? The distributed and take profit allocation, are they here? The distributed and take profit allocation and the other friend, are they here? Give me an answer in the chat. Are they here? After I have changed the margin calls to 4. Those two other guys are here. Can you see them? Are they there? Can you see them? Are they present? Give me an answer in the chat. Are they present? No, they are not present. The reason why they are not present, they don't have job to do. Their job is for margin call 5 going down. Okay, that is their job. So if I'm going to put back the 5 here, if I'm going to put the 5 back here, you will see that those guys are going to be invited here. They will come. They're going to call them and say, come, come. We've got a job for you. So they will come. Automatically they come. You see, there they come. So distributed and take profit allocation as well as the subposition take profit callback, these ones, they are for margin call 5 going downwards. But margin call 1 up to 4, they use this one and this one. Okay? But this one is the same like this one when it comes to take profit. This one is the same like this one when it comes to callback. But the callback for here, it is for margin call number 5. While the callback for here, it is margin call 1 to 4. Are you following? You need to understand your robot very well, how it operates. Now, I think I have explained more there. Let's come back here. Make sure that your strategy period here, okay, before I come to strategy period, here, let's put the right figure here on the subposition take profit callback here, okay? It should also be 0.01, okay? On the subposition take profit callback, 0.01. Then I was saying the strategy period. This is strategy period. We are trading with 2 strategies in RoyalQ. When it comes to the period, we do have one shot and we do have cycle. Okay, we do have one shot and we do have cycle. Currently, we are not using cycle. We are focusing on one shot. What is the difference between cycle and one shot? When we trade in one shot, when the robot has completed this trade that we are setting, the robot is not going to buy again. It will wait for us to give another instruction of buying another coin, or probably the same coin. The robot, when it completes this trade, it will stop waiting for us to command it. While when we are trading in cycle, okay, when we are trading in cycle, when the robot has completed this trade, at the price that the robot is going to make a sell, when it is giving us our 3% take profit, yes, the price where this trade is going to be closed, the robot is going to buy again there. this same coin. That's why we are calling it cycle. The robot will be trading this coin continuously, buying, selling, buying, selling. Same coin. Whether it is going to sell high here, let's say it has completed the trade high up here, the robot is going to enter another trade right here. Okay? Yes. That is what we call cycle. So the robot continues to trade the same coin. That is cycling. But one shot, it means one shot at a time. One shot at a time. One shot at a time. I hope that one is clear. I hope that one is clear. Yes. I hope that one is clear. All right. I hope that one is clear. Now let's proceed. Now, let me conclude this. I have got 12 minutes to go. Let's complete this now. This is the first. This is how
I think we have lost our co-host, but he's coming back. So let's just be a little bit patient. Just a little bit patient. Just a little bit patient.
my network is not networking good today. My network is not networking good today. Okay. I think I'm back. Can you hear me? Give me a one in the chat if I'm back. Give me a one in the chat. Give me a one in the chat if I'm back. Give me a one in the chat. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, let me share my screen again. Let me share my screen again. Yeah, my network is networking me today. My network is networking me today. All right. So let me come on margin configuration so that we conclude this chapter. I'm coming here on the margin configuration here. All right. That's where we are coming now. So this is our first page. All right. Now on the margin configuration, I'm going to address the issue of our first buy-in amount. That's where we are going to kill all the bears using one stone. So let's come on margin configuration here. On margin configuration, we do have two areas of concern. The first area is what we call the margin code drop. The margin code drop. Okay. So now, when it comes to the margin code drop, we are looking at when price is going down, yes, when price is going down, it should go with how much percentage for our robot to buy our margin calls. I normally use this analog here. I normally use this example and say this is point A where our robot is making the purchase. It is entering the market the first time at point A. So from point A, there are two things that might happen. I'm using the word might because one cannot happen or one also cannot happen. So from point A, the market can go either up, okay, to B, or the market can go down to C. Okay, the market can go down to C. All right. So I am putting these lines here. Allow me to have 5 of them, 5 lines. Okay. So when the robot enters here, okay, with our first buy-in amount, whether it is $10, whether it is $20, whether it is $5, but the robot is going to buy first time here. When it is buying first time here, this is not a margin call. This is the first buy. It's not a margin call. It has not started buying margin calls yet. It has only done the first buy. So when it is buying for the first time here, there are two things that might happen. It's either the price is going to go to the upper side from the point of entry here with our first buy-in amount. It's either price will go where? It will go up after it has entered here. So when price goes up to B, it means the robot doesn't have the chance to buy our margin calls, which are down here. These are our margin calls. So it means from point of entry, price has gone to the top. The robot will be focusing to sell what it has bought with the first buy-in amount. That's what the robot will be focusing on. From point of entry, the robot will be focusing on to sell the stock that it has bought using the first buy-in amount. If price goes to the top after entry. So I'm simply saying your robot can buy only one time and sell. So don't say my robot did not buy my margin calls. It never picked my margin calls. Did I set it right? Yes, you did set it right. But here is the thing. Where the robot entered, the price did not drop. It went straight up. That's why the robot has sold what it bought only one time. This also tells you that the robot can buy probably 2 times. Yes, depending on how the price is falling. Right? So if you have understood me here on this first part, that your robot can buy one time, price goes up, and the robot sells, and it gives you 3% take profit of what was bought at point A, which is our point of entry. If you have understood this, part, give me a 3 in the chat. If you have understood this part, give me a 3 in the chat. Give me a 3 in the chat if you have understood that part. Give me a 3. Give me a 3. Give me a 3. Okay. Thank you so much. Now, let's come and complete this other part which is remaining now. Let's come and complete it. Now, from here, when the robot has entered with the first buy-in amount, price may drop. Price may start to what? To drop. Okay? So when the price is dropping, it should drop with how much percentage so that our robot can buy the margin calls. So from here, when price start to go down, this is what we say the market has gone against us. From point of entry, after it has bought, and the price started to go down, we say the market has gone against us. It's when the robot will start buying your margin calls. Okay? Now, we are saying for the robot to buy our first margin call, we want the price to drop by 3.5%. I'm using that as an example. Okay? From point of entry here, which is A, after it has bought with the first buy-in amount, we are saying the price should drop with 3.5%. And we want the robot to buy our first margin call, which is here. Okay, this is margin call number 1. Now, margin call number 1 has been bought. After it has been bought, from this point where margin call number 1 has been bought, when price drops again with 4%, which is margin call number 2, let the robot buy again. So this is margin call number 2. So if you add 3.5% plus 4%, it's a total of 7%, meaning to say from point of entry to margin call number 2, the price has dropped by 7.5%. That's what it means. I hope you are tracking there. Now, from point of entry of position number 2, here, where the robot bought margin call number 2, the price should drop again for margin call number 3 by 4.5%. I'm just using what is here now so that you understand how does the robot buys our margin calls. So from point number 2 here, where margin call 2 has been bought, price should drop with 4.5%. Then the robot is going to buy margin call number 3 here. So a total, if you add 4.5 plus 4%, that is 8.5. 8.5 plus 3.5%, you are going to find the total figure. It means from point of entry A to margin call number 3, it means the price has dropped with these percentages together. That's what it means. So until it reaches to our margin call number 5, this is 4. So this is a drop percentage for margin call number 4, and this one is for margin call number 5. So when you add all this, you are coming up with a total percentage of the margin call drop that the robot is going to monitor to buy your 5 margin calls. If you have understood this, give me a 4 in the chat. If you have understood this, give me a 4 in the chat. Now we are going to go to capital allocation. We're going to go to capital allocation. Give me a 4 in the chat if you have understood that part. How does the robot buys your margin calls? So if you have understood that, it means now you know why your robot might buy or it might not buy. Okay? Why your robot, it might buy or it might not buy. It is because of the way you have set your margin call drops. So if they are higher, it means the robot will take time to buy. So let's impute the margin call drops for buy poverty. Buy poverty goes like this. This is buy poverty, right? This is buy poverty. This is buy poverty strategy setting when it comes to margin call drops. This is buy poverty. All right, this is buy poverty. This is our margin call drops for buy poverty. It is 1, 1, 0.5, 0.3, and 0.2. A total of 3%. A total of 3% here. Okay, if you add this to this to this to this to this, you discover that it is 3% margin call drop, a total. Let's come to our capital allocation. That's where we are going to end our training now. So we are saying our amount is $1,000. Our amount of capital is $1,000. So when it comes to buy poverty, we are going to get our first buy-in amount from the $1,000. That's why I said I'm not talking about first buy-in amount now. This is the time that I wanted us to kill all the birds with one stone. So how do we get our first buy-in amount if we are using $1,000 in a buy poverty strategy? This is what we do. We take our total amount of capital, we divide by 15%. Our total amount of capital, we divide by 15%. What are we trying to say? We want to use only 15% of $1,000 to be our first buy-in amount. We want to use how much? Only 15% of our $1,000 to be our first buy-in amount. All right. So what is 15% of $1,000? What is 15% of $1,000? We want to get our first buy-in amount. What is 15% of $1,000? Give me an answer in the chat. What is 15% of $1,000? Give me an answer in the chat, please. Give me an answer in the chat. I know you are busy doing your mathematics there. You are doing your calculations. What is 15% of $1,000? 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 Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. So first buy-in amount, it is going to be $150. $150, it is going to be our first buy-in amount. Okay? Yes. So when the robot buys the first time with $150, okay, it is not going to use this $150 to buy margin call number 1, margin call number 2, 3, 4, 5. No. It's gonna only buy first time with $150. So out of our $1,000 minus $150, it means we have remained with $850. Okay, so this money here is the one that the robot is going to allocate to our margin calls 1 to 5. This money, this balance here. So this one is out, is for first buy. Now, when the robot is using 850, it is not going to use this as a first buy-in amount. We need to find out another first buy-in amount, which we call new FBA. Yes, this is new first buy-in amount. So how do we do that? We are going to take our first buy-in amount, which is 150. We divide by number of margin calls, which are 5. 150 is our first buy-in amount over 5 margin calls. We are trying to find new first buy-in amount. Is that clear? Yes. So how much are we getting here? 150 divided by 5. We want to get our new first buy-in amount. 150 divided by 5. What are we getting? What are we getting? 150 divided by 5. What are we getting? Thank you so much, Joy. Nana, thank you so much. Yes, Seth, thank you so much. Chikwara, thank you so much. Yes, Wakim, thank you so much. Kate, thank you so much. It is $30. Yes, that's our new first buy-in amount. So when the robot is buying the margin calls, it is going to use $30 per layer. Now, let's calculate now. When it comes to multiple buy-in ratio, when the robot is buying first call, how many times should it buy? That's what we call multiple buy-in ratio. Only on this level, when the robot is buying this call, how many times should it buy the first call? Using our first buy-in amount, which is $30. That's the new first buy-in amount. So when it comes to the buy poverty, our settings goes like this. You just need to copy and paste. Copy and what? Copy and paste. Yes. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. Just copy and what? And paste. All right? Yes. Copy these figures and paste it. Copy and paste. I'm concluding now. I'm concluding. So here we are. So on every layer, the robot is going to buy 5 times. So our new first buy-in amount is $30. So if the robot is going to buy 5 times here, it means 5 times 30. 5 times 30. 5 times 30. 5 times what? Times 30. Here, 5 times what? Times 30. So when you multiply 5 times 30, you're still going to get 150 here, 150 here, 150 here, 150 here, 150 there. Yes. Our first buy-in amount, do you remember it? Yes. But why are we not using one time here? Why are we not using one time, one time, one time, one time, one time? And then we make our first buy-in amount 150. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? When we are trading, when the robot buys first time, it creates what we call average price. Yes, it creates what we call average price. What is an average price? An average price, it is the entry price. Yes. So whenever the robot enters, it creates an average price. At which price did it enter the market? All right. So now, when the price is going down and the robot is buying our margin calls, every time it buys a margin call, it creates a new average price. It buys another margin call, it creates a new average price. What is the robot doing? It is bringing this average price following the current price. It is following the what? The current price. So when it starts buying here, it creates an average price. It buys here, it creates an average price. It buys here, it creates an average price. Now, when it is creating these average prices, it is better when the robot is buying in multiples because it buys a lot of stock at one time because it is in multiples. At every layer, it buys more. Every layer, it buys more. Every layer, it buys more. As a result, if price comes down to margin call number 5 here, this is current price. This is what? Current price, because the price has been dropping from margin call number 1, going down until here. But on every layer, the robot is creating average price. So when prices start to go up from margin call number 5, the robot will not wait for the price to go back here to where it started buying. No. The moment the price gets, for example, at this level, in the middle of this line, you discover that the robot is going to create an average price to sell all these margin calls, especially the first 4. The first 4 margin calls. It is going to create an average price where when the market starts coming from bottom here, the moment it reaches here, you have landed into profit, which we call floating profit. It means you are not going to come back here. where it entered for margin call number 1. So the robot might sell your stock somewhere here. As a result, you are leaving the market faster. So it is important to trade with margin calls. This is how the robot does the buying. That's why we are putting multiple buy-in ratio like this. Now, if this is 150, 150, 150, 150, 150, it means now the robot has put in a total amount of how much? The robot has put in a total amount of how much, including our first buy-in amount of 150. Give me an answer. We were having $1,000. So the robot buys these 5 plus this one. It buys these 5 plus this one. How much capital the robot has used so far? If it buys our margin calls, 5 of them, how much capital? Give me an answer in the chat. How much capital? How much capital? Give me an answer in the chat. How much capital? How much capital now? How much capital? How much capital? How much capital? 5 margin calls plus our first buying amount of 150. 5 margin calls plus our first buying amount of 150. How much capital? Thank you so much. $900 has been put in the market by the robot. We are remaining with a balance of $150. I mean $100, not 150. Sorry. We are remaining with a balance of $100. So you can use this remaining balance to trade the current price signals. Those signals that says, set this trade within 5 minutes. If you see this signal after 5 minutes, don't enter. So you can use this remaining balance to trade, or you can leave it in your wallet. Yes, let it be a reserve. So when the robot sells these margin calls, it is going to give you 3%, okay? 3% plus 1.3%. 1.3%, it is for margin call number 5. I'm going to show you as I conclude. So if the robot gives you, let's say, this 3% of $900, let's say that it is $25 profit. Okay? It has completed the trade and it has given you $25 as what? As profit. We said you are compounding. So you're going to take $25, you add it to your 150, which is your first buy-in amount. You are going to have $175. The next trade that you are going to set, your first buy-in amount is going to be how much? 175, because you have gained extra 25 as a profit. When the robot buys with 175, you change your 175 back to 30. Remember, we do have 5 margin calls, and per layer, the robot is still buying 5 times, 5 times, 5 times. So you change back to $30. Like that, like that. Now, when the robot buys here, it buys here, it buys here, it buys here, it buys here with 150. The market goes up to B. It sells and give you 3% of 150. You're gonna do the same in compounding. It did not buy your margin calls, but it only bought once with 150. The profit that is gonna give you, whether it is $10, for example, or maybe it is $5, you are going to take this $5, you add it to your 150, you make your first buying amount. When the robot buys first time, you change the 150 back to 30. Are we clear? Because someone will say, what if my robot buys one time? What if my robot buys 2 times? Yes. As long as it sells those 2 times, check how much profit it has given you. Then you take that profit, you add it to your first buy-in amount. You continue compounding. Whether it buys margin call or it does not buy margin call, continue compounding. So let's conclude our story here and say, save this strategy, and our first buy-in amount is 150. All right. Then we make sure that the AI margin call is on. The AI margin call is on. Then after that, we click sure to save. We are saving our strategy. Okay. We are saving our strategy. Once it is saved, then we come here, we make sure that we are trading under this strategy. Can you see we do have a strategy mode here? Yes, I was talking about sub-bean mode, real-time settlement, as well as whole warehouse mode. That's where I'm ending the story. So make sure that you are using this strategy of sub-bean mode. So you tap on sub-bean, okay? Then you click sure. When you are trading under sub-bean, when the robot buys margin call number 5, it happens that it buys your margin calls and it buys your margin call number 5. It is going to sell this margin call number 5 separate. It will give you 1.3% profit. This profit, it will never give it to you. When the robot is trading under sub-bean mode, whenever it sells margin call number 5, it tells you 0% profit rate. When it sends you a message under selling or under order message, it gives you 0%. Okay? Yes. It means it has sold margin call number 5, but now what has happened is this. It has sold margin call number 5, but this is what has happened. When you tap here, and then you tap on distributed and take profit allocation there. Okay, you tap here. You see that there is a percentage for margin call number 5, which is a sub position, this one here. So when the robot sells this position, it gives you 1.3% of how much. If you are using $30, it means the robot has used 150 on margin call number 5 alone. So it will give you 1.3% of 150. Okay? But it's not going to give you the profit. It will take this profit, it takes it back to the market to pull the average price of margin call number 1 to 4. That's why it gives you 0% profit rate. It's going to give you back this capital, but this profit, it takes it back to the market. That's what normally happens. That's where the 1.3 is coming from. This one we don't change. This one we don't change. We leave it like that by default. So that's what normally happens under sub-bean mode. So we are saving. After saving, then we click start. When we click start, the robot is going to buy first time. Then we change the first buy-in amount back to 30. Yes, we are going to change this one. After it has bought here, we change this one back to 30 so that it buys 5 times, 5 times, 5 times, 5 times using $30. Are we still friends? Are we still friends? I said margin call, okay? Margin call and AI margin call, all of them here, they should be on. There are people who switches off this one and they leave this one. If you switch off this one, the robot is not going to buy any margin call. The robot is not going to buy any margin call. It will buy only first time. But your margin calls, it will never buy. So make sure that this one is a must to switch as well as this one. Are we still friends? I have come to the end of the sharing. Anyone with a question? Anyone with a question? Anyone with a question on the buy poverty strategy? Anyone with a question? Anyone with a question? Anyone with a question? Anyone with a question? Okay, I see two hands there up. Two hands there up. Two hands there up. Let me take the hands. Or probably before I do that, the AI margin call, it prevents the robot to buy faster. The AI margin call, it prevents the robot to buy faster. Remember, we are having margin call drops of 0.2. If you remember very well, our margin call drops is 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, 1%, 1%. So when the AI margin call is not on, the robot is going to follow this. Whenever the price drops by 0.2, it buys. The price drops by 0.5, it buys. It will never take long. The robot is going to complete these margin calls. It will buy them fast. But when you own the AI margin call, when this has been achieved, the robot is monitored by the AI, the intelligence of the robot when it comes to margin calls. Then it says, should we buy here? Is this the right place to buy? Okay. Then you discover that, no, this is not the right place to buy. It will never buy here. In that case, it's not going to buy your margin calls faster, meaning to say, it's not going to put in your money fast. That's what it means. All right. So that's the duty of the AI margin call. It prevents the robot to put in your money very fast. Okay. It prevents the robot to put in your money very fast. This is buy poverty strategy that we introduced. If you want to try another strategy on your own, you can do so. Yes, you can do so. You can do so. If you want to start with $250 as your first buying amount, you can do so. You can do so. All right? Yes. If you are having $200 capital, use the other strategies. I think we did answer these questions. Let me go and answer the questions that are on the hands there. I saw two hands that were up. I saw two hands that were up. I saw two hands that were up. Okay. Yeah. Pick the hands here, and then we call it a night. Okay, I'm stopping to share my screen. Let me pick these hands. Then we our story for today. iPad. I'm gonna start with iPad, and then I'm gonna come to Samuel. iPad, I have allowed you to unmute, ask your question. iPad. iPad, are you still here? I have allowed you to unmute. Please unmute and ask your question.
Thank you very much, leader. Good evening. Oh, can you hear me,
Yes,
please?
good evening. You're loud and clear.
Yeah, what I was saying is, since the first buy-in amount, we use the margin calls to correct the average price. If we keep compounding the first buy, wouldn't it be difficult for us to come out or to correct the average price very faster?
The robot can buy one time and it sells.
Yeah.
Yes. So whenever it sells, you are going to check how much profit did it give you after using that first buy alone. Then you take that amount of profit, you add it to your first buy that you have used in that trade. Then you compound.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
it's
Like
not.
looking at the allocation of the money that we put in the margin cost so that they can correct the average price. If the first buy keeps on becoming bigger, wouldn't it be very difficult for the margin cost to correct the first buy?
No, it's not gonna be difficult. The
Okay.
robot is only using a huge first buy-in amount. When it comes to margin call drop, they are not affected. You are only using a bigger first buy-in amount. That's all. Is that okay, iPad?
Yeah, I do get you, but then I'm still not clear.
Where don't you get me? Where is the problem?
Yeah, I do understand that the first buy, the compounding is only for the first buy. Okay.
Yes.
So as you buy the margin cost, they will keep on correcting the average price. Is that not the case?
Every buy that it makes, remember the robot can buy one time, it sells. But if it does
Yes.
not sell after it has bought one time, it's gonna still buy your margin calls. So every margin call that is bought, it creates a new average price. So there is no affection of any subposition that is bought.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. Samuel, ask your question. Samuel, ask your question.
Thank you, leader. My question is, I just wanted to consult whether this strategy is applicable for signals where we are required to buy at current price.
Yes. Signals that are required to buy at current price, you can use the buy poverty strategy. It looks at what do you want to achieve.
Okay, thank you.
Because the focus is how much capital are you involving. You can use current price signals and you use a big amount of money. It's up to you. It's a strategy. But don't forget that the AI margin call should be on when you are buying.
Okay, leader, point noted. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Wakim, ask your question.
Thank you very much, my leader.
You're welcome.
My question was, since our buy strategy only uses $900 of our total $1,000, can't we start our our first buying amount of $250? Since we have a remaining $100 that is left from the 1,000 using the buy strategy after buying our 5 margin calls.
It's still okay. We were saying it's up to you. All right, it's up to you. You want to put in a total of $1,000. You can make your first buy-in amount $250. It's up to you. But we were saying you want to trade current price signals using the remaining balance, which is the reserve. It's still okay. There is nothing wrong with that. But we are looking at a huge capital in that particular trade. That's why when we come to the super buy poverty, all the money is in. The whole 1,000 is in when we are using super buy poverty. But the buy poverty, there is a balance of $100. So if you see it fit, then make it $250 so that you don't want any money to remain. There's nothing wrong.
Okay, thank you very much, my leader.
Okay, all right. So that was Wakim. Thank you so much for that. I think we can end here. I want to thank you guys. for participating and the questions that you have asked. It means that you were following. So thank you so much. This is all that I had to do here. I'll hand over to Coach Julius. Yeah, I'm sure if there is nothing, I think he's going to end the Zoom. Let's meet again tomorrow. Those are my closing remarks. Have a blessed night. Thank you. Coach Julius, over to you. Coach Julius, please end the Zoom if you are here.